Isn't it great?
Yes.
Here at Liberty, it's a real good atmosphere around football. Everyone loves football. Teachers support it. Mr. Bella, our principal, supports it. Students even, like, they're just hyped about it all the time.
Coming into this season, we had our returning quarterback coming back, Noah Faoa, but he had gotten an injury and had ACL surgery as soon as the season was over. He actually finished the season last year playing on a torn ACL. The springtime, when all the kids start coming out and you start kind of seeing, okay, what's our depth look like at different positions, it turned out that we had 5 really good quarterbacks. While that's a great problem to have, it's also very stressful for the head coach because only one of those guys typically plays. So I knew Noah wasn't going to be able to get back till July or August. So we had to assume that he wasn't coming back. And so we had to get our next guy ready. And of the 4 kids that were there, it was wide open. We probably hurt our overall team development in springtime not making a decision early because we let all 4 quarterbacks get equal reps during our spring ball. But we really didn't know. It was that close. All those kids were that good. And we had a senior in Canyon Stone King. We had junior Daniel Britt. We had a sophomore, Caden Hauser. Last day of spring ball practice, Daniel gets an elbow in the face and broke I think he had 14 breaks.
Towards the end of practice, we went into our heavy snake package, which is a heavy offense, and it was my turn for reps. And when I had went in, a freak accident happened. I actually turned around to hand the ball off to my running back, and he flew up with his elbow a little high and actually elbowed me right in the face, and the whole right side of my face had shattered. And we actually ended up going to the doctor that same night. That was probably the most pain I've ever felt in my whole life.
Thought, oh, well, Daniel's out because, that's a major, he needed surgery, and I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to come back and be ready to go at the beginning of the year.
When we went to the doctor told us it was just fracture, so my mom didn't really believe that, and truthfully, I didn't really believe that either. It was too much pain to be a fracture. So about a few weeks later, that was like the soonest they could get us into a doctor. So we went to another doctor, and they told me it was completely broken and it's healing wrong. So when we went to the doctor, he told me that I should have gotten immediate surgery, and the soonest surgery that it could get me into was a few days later. So I ended up going into surgery. They had to go through my nose, through my eyelid and my mouth, and re-break my whole right side of my face and put 4 metal plates in there and an implant. And then recovery was about 2 to 3 months, and it was terrible. Long nights, long days. Just never really felt the same. Didn't have the confidence to get back to football. I was really scared, feeling like it was a real freak accident, but just felt like it could have happened again.
Daniel got cleared to come back to football the first day of contact, and I was really leery about putting him back in there. I made his mom give me an extra doctor note, so we went down to just a couple QBs, and then the one QB hurt his shoulder, so then we were down to one. So we ended up going with Canyon at first, and we really felt like he could do it. He's prototypical 6'5", kid, strong arm, and it really wasn't his fault why we were losing games early on. You know, it's just we played extremely difficult teams. We didn't gel as a team. We made some bad decisions as coaches. Kids didn't execute quite the way we wanted to, and we turn around and we're 0-5.
I'd been working really, really hard. I mean, wanting to earn that varsity spot. I've been wanting to earn the varsity spot since I came in as a freshman, believing I could. As
things went on, we would see him in practice make some plays with his feet, and we got to the St. John Bosco game, and you know, we were losing that game pretty big early, and so we were like, let's put Daniel in. Maybe he can get us a few first downs with his feet, and he did, and he moved the ball against them and drove down, and we scored. And I was like, oh, all right, he's got this with his feet.
I ended up playing in week 3, scored on my second play of the game when I came in against St. John Bosco. And when I came in here, I just wanted to be that varsity guy, and going into my junior year, it was real tough to get that recognition to want to be that guy, because we did have a quarterback at the time.
We played Centennial Corona, and we did a platoon where Canyon would play mostly when we were passing, and Daniel would come in and run the zone read. For the first half, Canyon ended up getting hurt. Daniel took over in the second half, and he started making plays in the air with his arm.
3 scoring drives in 2 minutes, the last 2 minutes of the game. And that's kind of where the coaches knew that I could be the guy.
And that's really when I was like, all right, I think this kid, I think he's got it. And so it wasn't until week 5 that he finally got his opportunity to start.
That 0-5 start was real tough. It was actually one of the worst starts in Liberty history within the past few years. I mean, coming in as a starter after going 0-5 was a real tough mentality, knowing that it was going to be a little tough to make the playoffs, but we knew we could do it for sure. And from a personal standpoint, it was kind of like I could really be the guy to flip this season around and take us to the next level and make the playoffs at least and get my shot against Gorman. That week when you come to Liberty, that week when you know you're playing Green Valley, is like, look, you got everyone behind you. You got everyone saying you got to go beat their butts this week. Because, I mean, they're the enemy.
Guess who? Look at Menigo, quick first step. He was actually held on that play as well as he got around.
First, it was my second start actually against Green Valley, and that game came out super hype, and it was the intensity that we had, just because, I mean, we don't exactly have a good reputation with those guys, so it's like we came out real hype and we ended up winning that game. I believe it was like 59-0 probably, and So that game was really big for us. That was a real confidence booster for the whole team.
The moves, this young man, and the speed. Watch this, Brian. He made a couple moves that just really shook some Green Valley tackles. There's one, and then the second one was
Fires one complete and a little spin move, and look out. This is Jeremy Bernard, open field, still going, spun.
Yeah, have a big night, Maurice Hampton. You're right, this is a dart into the window. Beautiful pitch and catch. Oh, a 50-yard pitch and catch. Touchdown. Yes, very quick. Nice moves, good feet. Swivel hips.
Takes the snap, goes to the 13-yard line, set up a little screen to the big tight end, and you've got the big man in open space, and look at him go down the sidelines with one man to beat. Stiff arm, and he's in. Maliki Matamo with an incredible display.
An 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, so I believe we were actually up around 28-0 or 35-0 at that time. We just got it at halftime, and we actually got pinned back on our 16-yard line. So it was about an 82-yard play, but we come out and my coach tells me right away, he's like, we're running this play to Mo, and I was like, all right. So right when we break out of the huddle, I'm like reading the defense, and I could just tell the whole defense was shifted right because we had the trips right, and I knew Mo was going to be wide open. Mo's just an athlete. I didn't exactly know he was going to take it to the house, but he did. It was a screen play that I actually had to end up rolling right, and Mo came back left, and I'm looking right, and I have to flip my body back and dump it over the top, and I hit him. And Mo's running 82 yards down the sideline. He's got kids running after him. He broke about 2-3 tackles in the play, and the last broken tackle was insane. He just grabbed the kid and stiff armed him and threw him to the ground.
I'd go for it. It would appear you'd go for it. And I guess there's a good reason too. The pitch and catch. Hauser drops one in, and Jeremy Bernard, this kid is just a sophomore. Wow. He is going to be something truly special in a couple of years.
He's special now. You're right, though. Can't wait to see his growth of a great wide receiver at the next level, and then with the possibility of playing on Sundays.
Touchdown.